This is Bishop Samuel Blakes, and you're listening to Real Talk with Mary J.
Happy Merry Monday, everybody. You've stopped by here to connect with Real Talk with Mary J. I am your host, Mary J. Real Talk with Mary J. is a social outlet for a positive outcome, and I am so excited to have all of you beautiful people sharing with us all around the world. Listen, we deal with all topics from social to spiritual, and we've been having such an intriguing topic all month long as it relates to mental health awareness. So I have with me Sharon today. Listen, she is my daughter, my beautiful blossom cup. All of that stuff is what I call her. She is my eldest child. But I want to share with you from the subject on today. We're talking about mental health awareness, and we're going to be talking about depression and anxiety. Okay, so Mykia is here to share with us as it relates to that. Let me put on my glasses so I can share with you all. There she is, my beautiful blossom. Okay, let me say this. Mykia Jovan is an international multidisciplinary artist, with live music performance being her primary vehicle of expression. The single mother of two beautiful boys, hails from New Orleans, Louisiana, where she serves her community through sonic healing and storytelling. Mykia's critically acclaimed debut album entitled Eliyahu was featured on Spotify's The State of Jazz playlist and gained her the nomination of Offbeat's best-selling emerging artist. Mykia is a classically trained actor. She is known for her roles in Girls Trip in 2017 and Samaria, if I'm pronouncing it right, in 2016, and Of Mind and Music in 2014. Listen, guys, she is a singer, a songwriter, an artist, a model, an entrepreneur. She is my daughter, my heart. Welcome with me on the show today, my daughter, Mykia Jovan.
Hi, good morning, Mary J.
Good morning. Listen, I got lost, and I want to say this. Thank you so much because, oh my God, I am so impressed. You sent me your bio way in advance, like almost a month ago, and I was scrambling just now trying to get it up, and I should have had it ready. But thank you, sweetheart, for coming on to share with your mother today. I am excited about this conversation. So we're getting ready to talk about mental health awareness. Of course, we're dealing with anxiety and depression on today. But before we go into all of that, will you let the people know who you are and what you do?
Okay. Well, I am a single mother of two boys. I'm postpartum about 5 months now. Primarily, I do vocals on various projects around the city in New Orleans, with my personal project being Mykia Jovan Music. I'm a part of a band called Smokin' Bones. I do collaborative things with other bands in the city. So that's what I do professionally. Who I am, I'm a mystery to myself. I'm learning myself every day.
I love it.
But I am a believer of God and of change and the potential that our society has for change. I'm just a girl from the 17th ward trying to live a good life and leave a legacy for my children.
Awesome, awesome. Trying to live a good life and leave a legacy. I love it that you are an awareness of self as well. All of what you do, Mykia, I'm so happy, first of all, that you accepted the invitation again to share with me. We have a lot of fun. I know you've been on my show before. Um, but you have so much value to add to society and all of the things that you do. I know you downplay a whole lot. And that's such the gift that you are. You are such a woman of treasure. And you travel the world. You nurse your baby while performing sometimes. You know, you never miss a beat. You're a blogger, you're a storyteller, you're a writer, you know, you're an influencer, and you are, I am so godly proud of you and all your accomplishments and everything that you're doing, and an aspiring author, upcoming. I let the cat out of the bag last night to let
Oh
them
my God.
know that you would be writing your book, releasing your book as well. So
How
you're
much of the cat did you let
I
out,
didn't
Mary
say too
Jane?
much. All I said
Okay.
was that she's going to be releasing her book. She's writing a book. That's all I said. I didn't say the name of it or any, I didn't give any information, okay?
Well, considering you're my publisher and my mother, I'm not surprised at all.
For my kid, I gotta put my glasses on once again because I want to make sure that, okay, that I had that spelled right. Okay, I was writing something and I wanted to make sure that I had it right. Okay, let's get into this wonderful conversation. I want you to let the people know about your journey. Like, you're a singer, you're an actress, you're a songwriter. How did you get to this place where you are? And then we're going to deal with mental health awareness to help some people along the way. What
Okay.
what led you to where you are today?
Okay. First, let me start off by just being fully transparent, and that kind of uh, supports where I've come from. I cannot see you. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I should be looking at your beautiful silhouette that I can't quite make out,
You
or if I should
guess
look at the
what?
camera.
If you can't see me, we can see your beautiful self, and you're looking straight at me, and I would have
Okay.
never
So
known that you couldn't
I'll
see me.
just stay right here.
So that means you don't have on your contacts.
I don't have my contacts on. I was trying to be cute and hurry. I'm actually really excited about this interview because I'm in my camper van right now. I wanted to test out to see if it'll work out, and it's doing quite nice. So there's that.
Wonderful.
So my story. I'm a preacher's kid. I was raised in the church, and I used to dance around in ministry every time I heard a sermon that resonated with me, even as a little girl, 7 years old, baptized with the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues, giving my parents Bible study lessons, prophesying to people from a very, very young age. But I felt like I needed a testimony. I felt like I wasn't validated enough in the ministry to explore my gifts because I was so young, and I had to have gone through some things. And I think that's the beginning of when the enemy tried to take over my mind. I don't want to get too deep this early in the morning, so you just let me know. But
Real talk. This is
real
real
talk.
talk. Listen, no filter. As I said on yesterday to the people publicly, that I am not mom manager today, and you're open to say and free to discuss whatever you like. Okay, so as free as it's transparent as you would like to be, you just go wherever you feel like you're led to go.
Okay.
We're here to
Well,
help. We're here to help some people along this journey.
having a very, very big imagination, um, I had trouble differentiating reality from fantasy. I began to make up stories in my head, uh, little things in grade school about what I had for dinner the night before, or I remember distinctly having an assignment to talk about what I did over the summer. And I completely lied and said I went on a family vacation. At the time, my family couldn't even afford a vacation. Like, I made up an entire story. So that's when I knew that I wanted to be in acting. So that was pulled out of me, right? But
Yes.
it really set the tone for me to be taken advantage of as a child as well, because I was sexually abused growing up by a person that was assigned to nurture and take care of and provide for me. And I could not tell if I was imagining things, making things up in my head, or if it was actually happening. A lot of the
Right.
abuse occurred in my sleep. So
Right.
I would have these horrible nightmares. I would feel like the devil came to me in my sleep. And that really screwed up my mind, to be quite honest. Because in my waking hours, I would always feel like someone was watching me. I was paranoid about going to the restroom. I had bathroom issues, holding my waist for days at a time because I was terrified to go to the restroom, because that was an area of exploitation for me.
Right.
So that set the foundation of who I am today. And realizing that when I feel anxious or a little uncertain about what's happening, for me to name the thing and to address my feelings immediately, so that I can kind of whisk away the fantasy or the speculation around it for myself. I put all that into performance and singing. I started off with stage performance, but once again, the anxiety crept in, and pretty terrible at auditioning. It's so interesting too, because once I get a role, I kill it every single time. But it's the process of actually getting in the room to audition, that's where my downfall was. So I decided to take a different approach and start making the stage my audition, myself, a place where I can control the narrative and my comfort level. And that's when music became my first love. I didn't even know. I created an entire music career around wanting to be in musical theater and just not wanting to audition anymore.
Wow. That's incredible. That's an incredible journey. And even though that I am your mom and I am aware, just hearing you express it in such a way brings about so much more clarity, to imagine things as a little girl, as you said. And yes, you were and saved at the age of 7 and baptized and filled with the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues at age 8 years old. You were prophesied to people. You even prophesied to me a car one time. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
This girl told me, she gave me numbers. She said,
Yeah.
I think you said something like 1937, Mom. I see the numbers of 1937 and I speak it to you. She said, affordable, reliable, dependable. You spoke this car into my life when I was looking for a car. I was searching for a car. And guess what, guys? When I came across this dealership, as I was negotiating the cost of the car, it was affordable, it was reliable, it was dependable. I think at that time it was a brand new was that the Mercury Mystique, or one of those cars that I had at that time. But when I looked up at the address of that building, it was 1937. I was blown away. And not that I was blown away because you have done these things before. You have spoken some things in my life before and they manifest. You would have dreams and they would manifest. And so you were a little girl and you were so full of faith, my kids, so full of faith and fire. I remember I used to take you shopping, house hunting with me when I wanted to buy a house. And because I knew this little child had a lot of faith, and I know God will move by children, because they're so pure in heart too. And you would go to these big old houses, you loved old houses with the hardwood floors and the cathedral ceilings and chandeliers and basements. And I would be like, oh my God, this is so out of my budget. I know I can't afford this house, but my baby wants to go look at this house. I would go waste these people time and looking at these houses.
I love house
I was
hunting.
like, God, she has great faith, I know she thinks her mom is a superstar and all that. Back then, I think I was a manager for a company at the time. But anyway, you just have been incredible as relates to your walk of faith and also dancing in the spirit, as you said, baptized in the Holy Ghost. You were on fire. I mean, literally dancing with the power of the Holy Ghost upon her. And the people in the congregation would look around and look at this child, and they would be just so like, wow, mesmerized. Like, this little kid is like dancing in the Holy Ghost. Mykia, you had to be like 8, 9, 10 years old, And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful treasure, a beautiful gift to see God using you and speaking through you and giving you all of these words of wisdom and encouragement. And then you became my praise leader in the ministry. But when I was a youth pastor, you were my praise and worship ministry leader. And so you took all of that with all of that passion, all of that fire. And I hear you say, I remember you said you needed a testimony. I remember that. And this is the thing. And I remember you saying why you felt that you needed one. And do you remember why you felt you needed a testimony?
I remember that I felt like if I had a testimony, I would be more powerful. I would be understood. People wouldn't be like, oh, that's just a little girl. But
right.
If you remember more clearly than I do.
No, that's exactly what I remember. I remember you feeling like, because we get so caught up into, how I want to say this, traditionalism, and hearing people say what they gone through, and that's why they're anointed, because they had to go through this to receive this power and this anointing, and what's on my life, and you haven't walked the shoes I've walked, and until you walk where I've been, if you want what I want, you have to get what I get, you have to go through what I've been through to get what I have. And you, as a little girl, hearing all of this, feeling like you haven't gone through anything, you haven't experienced anything, you need a testimony because you want this anointing, you want this power. These people are, and it's like you're powerless if you haven't gone through something, right? Yeah. And so I remember you saying you wanted a testimony, and then the enemy began to take over.
Boy. Did I? You never know what you're asking for, huh?
Oh my gosh. Right.
So I have a lot.
What, you have lots of testimony?
I don't want no testimony no more.
Right, exactly. Like when I wrote the book Intrigue, and I talked about me coming out of brokenness and being homeless for quite some time, living in a hotel room. And a part of that is a part of Intrigue. But a lot of times I haven't made it publicly, so when people are really reading all of this, they did not know that this was actually my life, this was my experience, so they didn't know. But I remember Bishop Glenn Allen saying, Mary J, the next book, just write the book, Mary J. You don't need to go through nothing else. Just go ahead on and write. You don't need any other experience. Just go ahead on and write the book. So I know what you're saying as it relates to that. Just go ahead on and do. I believe you have enough testimony in you to write several books, to write several albums, to make it platinum, all of that stuff, and everything that you have experienced. So the imagination that you begin to paint these pictures, not sure if they were actually realistic or was it just your imagination, because a lot of the things that you felt as it relates to you being violated, you were in your sleep. So when you are awake and you weren't sure if this really happened or was this just your thoughts, right? Was
Right.
it just your thoughts? I remember you telling me you had dreams and you would say,
Oh,
Mom, I had this dream, and the dreams were so horrific you wasn't sure if this actually happened or was this just a
yeah,
dream.
because it couldn't possibly happen in real life. The dreams were
Mm-hmm.
so intense that there was no way I could connect that to reality. And I think honestly that was my mind protecting me, because
Wow.
I was dreaming of monsters, and if I would have known who the real monster was, oh my goodness, you know. So I'm
Wow.
grateful for my nightmares. Actually, I truly am.
Jeez, that's powerful. That's
Yeah.
powerful, Mykia. You say you really felt like that was protecting you by you not really knowing exactly who the real monster was in your dream.
Right. Yeah. I
Mm.
I mean, you know this, but I started having seizures, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. We were going to all the doctors, all the specialists, MRIs, EKGs. Um,
Right.
Everybody thought, "Oh my goodness, this girl needs to be delivered from something," right?
Mm-hmm.
I was possessed by something. We couldn't figure it out, and um, having psychosomatic stress syndrome
Right.
translates into something that I'm doing to myself. So
Right.
that was really hard too, right? To still be trying to connect the dots, praying and hoping that it's something physical that I'm going through that I can
Mm-hmm.
fix with a pill or some kind of treatment. And the
Right.
diagnosis is, oh, it's all self induced. It's all self
Mm.
induced, it's stress. So you mean to tell me when I'm like shaking uncontrollably on the ground and the ambulance is coming to my school, I'm embarrassed. People are calling me Carrie. I'm talking to lockers thinking that it's my grandmother checking me out. Like all of these things in high school is all created by my mind. That was pretty terrifying. But God is so good.
Isn't
God is so
he?
good because now I know how powerful my mind is. Now I know I can channel that into the things that I actually want, into the things that I can manifest. And I've been doing some heavy manifesting lately. So it feels very rewarding to work with the disease. I'm not gonna walk around and feel sorry for myself because my anxiety attacks look like seizures, and I, you know, as someone that wants to be seen in a certain light, I don't want people to associate me with stress and chaotic behavior and hallucinations. That's not very attractive. That doesn't feel like mine. That's not that's
Right.
not the that's not the image that I want to put out in the world. So with knowing these things about me and then feeling embarrassed or uncomfortable or even in denial sometimes about what it is, that further induces the stress. So now I'm worried about people thinking that I'm crazy, and that's making me crazy, and then I'm proving that I'm crazy. So just releasing myself from all of that and saying, hey, it's not your fault. You have a powerful mind, girl. It's not your fault
Oh
that you
my
have a powerful
goodness.
mind. And it's not your fault that people took advantage of you not knowing what was real and what wasn't.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. And I want to say this, Mike, here right now, just while you're talking, I already know that you are helping some people, that you are blessing some people, especially people who have no clue what it means to deal with anxiety and depression. People that have no clue that what it means to be bipolar or any of those mental illnesses that are out there. And you're helping some people because you're helping some people that actually are dealing with these things and not sure how to relate it. You're helping me as well, and you have helped me for so many years because me, and I'm going to be very transparent as it relates to all of this, I did not play a good part in it because I didn't understand it. I didn't know. And as you said, you were already filled with the Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues and all of this stuff, on fire and dancing in the spirit, and my praise team leader. So I'm, with my ignorance, thinking the devil is after my child and these demons are trying to attack her mind. And the devil is a lie. And I'm praying and I'm warfaring in the spirit and I'm speaking in tongues and I'm laying hands and I'm doing all of these things, fasting, all of these things. And I'm looking at your condition and I am despising the enemy that is within. So I thought, right?
Mhm.
And you would have these seizures where you would shake uncontrollably and your legs would give out and you would actually collapse on the floor.
Mhm.
And I remember one time specifically, I think you were in the kitchen. I was cooking or something and you started shaking, your legs fell and you collapsed on the floor. And I remember walking over you, stepping over you, ignoring that it happened because I thought that was just the devil trying to give attention to this, right?
Mhm.
My ignorance of not knowing. And I remember thinking that you can get up, like mind over matter. You can get up when you're ready to get up. You'll get up, right? Because that's just a place where I was back then. I tell everybody that I was so spiritual that I was no earthly good. I spiritualized everything. I had absolutely no balance in my life, and I equated everything to the demons, right?
Right.
If it was something that I didn't understand, or it wasn't something that I thought, was something that of good goodness or good lighting, I was like, you can get up when you're ready to get up. You'll get up off the floor.
Mhm.
And
And
I know, all of that, and I did apologize to you along the way when I really began to find out what was really going on. Because me myself, I didn't believe in medication, right? I didn't believe you take anything. You're not going to dope up my child. You're not going to drug. And I thought these people, they always quick to want to give your children medication and have them walking around like zombies. No, you're not getting that. Remember
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, I remember. And I feel like that's true too, So you were right to be cautious. You were right to be
Mm,
cautious. Um, I also feel like, to a certain extent, mind over matter is a real thing as well.
mm-hmm.
But when you're that deep into the anxiety and your body is completely traumatized, there's no way your mind can overcome that without any assistance. And it doesn't have to be uh, uh, medicine for assistance, but just even the acknowledgement of, wow, this is actually a condition. In our community, we like to act like you just pray and you keep it going. You don't tell nobody your business.
Right.
Um, you're strong, and the whole narrative of being a strong Black woman. I don't want to be a strong Black woman no more. Like, because people, they treat you like you. That's why. I mean, I can go on and on about that, but that's why they treat us the way they do when we go to the hospital and say something wrong with us.
We
Oh,
don't
are you
need the
sure it's
medication.
this? Nah, nah. They don't even offer it to you sometimes
Right.
because you're
Right.
strong, right? And you're a Black
Right.
woman. So all of that is conditioning, and it's understandable to not want to dope up your child when they clearly, like, the pharmaceutical companies do.
Make
Uh,
money.
absolutely, all of it's real. All of it's real. So I just want to offer that to you, that it's all of it was real. me
Mm-hmm.
me being on the floor and not believing that I had control over my body was real. But now looking back on it, absolutely, absolutely, mind over matter. There's a place for
Right.
it. There's a place for it. So it's
Right.
all it. The medicine works. The the
The prayers
affirmations work.
works.
The prayers work. The all of it. All of it. There's a place for it all.
Yes, so true, so true. I remember one time you were um the ambulance showed up at your school on a few occasions.
Yeah.
And at this
Yeah.
particular time, you were in theater, you were acting, and you were in all of these wonderful, powerful plays. And oh my God, you were an honors student, you were in gifted classes, and you were at NOCA. And I remember, and NOCA was on the river, right? And the ambulance would get you. So I would try to make light of it, and I would say, Mykia, you were rolling on the river, huh?
Shaking in front of everybody.
I say, you rolling on the river, to make light of the situation and everything, to try to offset the embarrassment of what I felt and what I thought you felt too.
Oh, I felt it.
I remember you saying, Mom, like, you down bad for that. Like, really? Yeah. But now we're come to this place where there is balance. I had it at all, not an ounce. I didn't have any balance. And so now I understand that this stuff is real, that it really happens, that people really deal with anxiety in that form or even greater. There are people that pass out. There are people bodies that shake uncontrollably. There are some people whose minds are just continue to race and race. Their heart is palpitating, and it's like it's pounding out of your chest. I remember I just didn't understand it at the time, but you, my dear, have shed so much light on it, and you've given me just a whole different outlook and a different perspective on it all. And you manage it very well, and you continue to press forward. You're traveling around the world. You are writing music. You're blogging. You have your online store. You are getting ready to release your book. You are the mother of two beautiful boys, my beautiful blossoms, little blossoms that call me Grand Mary. You're camping. And you're just continuing to prove that you're not going to let anything stop you or block you or keep you stagnated and cause you from moving forward in life. And I just find that just remarkable. That's tremendous.
Thank you. Wow. When you say all those things aloud, it really sounds good.
Yeah, but
it feels really good.
Right.
Because right now, with a new baby, I've been feeling, oh, gosh, I can't seem to get anything done. But thank you so much for listing
all what you've already done, right?
Yeah, I need to give myself a break, because I've been feeling like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to put this album out a year ago. It's not out. And all the things you tell yourself when you see the world passing you by. You think that you're supposed to be in line on a certain train. So I needed that. I needed to hear that. I'm going to treat myself today. It's Merry Monday. I know it's Merry Monday, but it might be Mykia and Merry Monday.
Yeah. I treated myself last night. I went out and I dated myself, and I had a fabulous time enjoying me by myself with my own company, not, just in that clear head space. I had a grand time. I love my energy. I love being with me. I love celebrating me and being by myself and not have to, be bothered with all of the nonsense, and just different, just in engaging different energies, and I'm meticulous anyway. I have a, we're not gonna get into all of that, but
that's for another show.
Yeah, for sure. But definitely it is Merry Monday. But I do understand that. Go have yourself a Mykia Monday, a Mykia Mindful Monday.
Oh, look at you.
And do some of the things that you enjoy doing yourself as well. But it's good to say these things out loud, Mykia, because that's something that I shared that is a part of my book Intrigue, and the last chapter is what to celebrate. Before that, chapter 10 was how much do you tolerate. When you've tolerated so much, you begin to realize what you should celebrate and not tolerate, right? And so sometimes we're so used to tolerating things over and over, and sometimes that may come across as weakness, but it really isn't weakness. It's just really endurance. It really means that we have a heart, and a heart of love for people, that we are patient, and we're really waiting for them to change or what have you. But we see that when the person can't change, we know we can change us, and we can change the situation. If that situation means removing us outside of that circle, or outside of that box, or going to another dimension, or what have you, we just do what we got to do, because our mental health is everything, right? It is everything to us, and we have to guard. I always say, protect your heart, guard your space, right? And so even with that, I knew that I had to make a way of escape. I had to make a way of escape to protect myself, my children, and all of what I knew that God wanted me to do, and everything that He's put in me to do. Because just like you, I don't need no more testimonies.
No, thanks. No more, God, I'm full.
Oh my goodness. I remember you said that. No more, God, I'm full. Thanks. I don't need anything else. But Mykia, I had to say those things out loud, because a lot of times we don't take the time to celebrate our wins. We don't even take the time to celebrate those small victories that we overcome every day, that we deal with things every day on a day-to-day basis. And we don't take time to just pause for a moment and rest in it and say, wow, I did that today. Or guess what? Wow, I didn't do anything today, and this feels doggone it. It feels great just to kind of rest and not have to deal with the stress of it all, right?
Right. I have my list of things I do depending on what level of energy I have, and I think that's very important with mental health. Obviously, everybody has their regimens, and absolutely stick with whatever your doctors recommend or prescribe. But for me, I know that I cannot go through the day feeling defeated. That's one of my triggers. So I have a little list of things that I can do depending on how I'm feeling. If I don't feel like getting out of the bed one day, I don't beat myself up about it. I'm in the bed. So what can I do productive from the bed that day? Find something. If I'm working on writing, or, pull up a beat and write a song, or just watch something funny that I enjoy from bed,
Right.
eat, drink some water. Those little things add up, and they make a huge difference. If I know that I can get out of the bed, but I don't want to be social because my social anxiety is on the rise and I don't want to get out of the house, get dressed, Then the next step, I have somewhere to be. I have no choice. I have to go to work. I have to sing this song. What can I do? Listen, be present in the moment. Listen to the song, listen to the words, even though it's my music or it's songs that I sing all the time. Like, just really be in it, be in the moment with the audience, be in the moment with the conversation. Don't fake a smile. That's what I've learned. Don't fake it. For me personally, I can't fake it, because if I fake it, I will start to fall into a character, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to myself, because coming from being abused in a situation where how can I put this? So my abuse was I was being objectified, right? So I could not escape from being on display. I was on stage as a young child in my own home. There were contraptions around. you saw me doing all the things. So I know I'm speaking in code, but I hope someone can read through the lines and be with me in this moment real quick. So
and as speak as clear as you would like to also.
I'm speaking as clear as I would like to. Thank you.
Okay.
I
Okay.
am. Because I feel very protective of my siblings and my family. So I'm speaking as comfortable as I can, but also I don't want it to sound like I'm talking in circles, because I'm going somewhere with this. But
Okay.
if you as a little kid never have any space to yourself to truly be yourself, to truly just kind of let your hair down and play, everything, you're monitored at all times. So translating that into adulthood, where I feel like I'm on display, I chose, Lord knows, I chose a career that puts me on a stage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So and that probably explains why I feel most comfortable there, because I'm used to uh I'm used to being observed. So there's that. But being in a position where anything that I do can be interpreted and can be manipulated, I have to make sure for my own sanity that I'm real at all times. And I think
Right.
that's why I kind of took a step away from acting like I usually do ritualistic performance work now. I can't necessarily say that I'll never dive into a character again, because I feel like that will be further proof of my healing. If I can get to a place where I'm comfortable portraying some other character. But for me, it's really, really important for me to be myself. That's why I say don't fake a smile, because I'll trick myself into believing everything's okay, and then when the party is over, when everybody's gone, I'm left with a realization that I'm actually sad, and I could have addressed that, 4 hours ago. When I was faking the smile, I could have addressed it. Does that make
That
sense?
that makes
You
perfect
understand
sense.
what I'm
That
saying?
yes, but I'm your mom, so I can kind of read your mind and understand your language and your coding and all of that stuff, but
Well, look, let me try this again. My point is just be yourself, be present in the moment, right? Just be present in the moment, because that way you can tap into the real diagnosis, like the real issue that's on hand. If you try to fake it till you make it, you never get to the root of the ailment. You're just putting a band-aid over it. So what I like to do is I like to force a smile in private. I like to
that's
look myself in the
good.
mirror when I'm feeling like overwhelmed. I force a smile until I'm laughing at myself looking so ridiculous, until I really feel the emotion of joy. And that's when I can open the door and let people in. And that's when it's authentic. But in the moment, you're going to get what you're going to get, because I don't have time to be faking it for nobody. Because my literal life, my life is at risk when I do that. When
Mhm.
I allow my circumstances to dictate how I'm going to perform, to
Right.
dictate what I feel, to dictate, to decide, okay, even though this is what's really real right now, we're going to pretend like it's not. I'm the one that's left, in my solitude, trying to sort out, did this really happen? Did I say that? Did that person mean that? No. So you're going to get me all the time, 100%. And it's been working out. It's been working out pretty well. Sometimes I don't like the stuff that comes out of my mouth. Sometimes I feel like, I wish I would have handled this or that differently. But I know that I'm still here, present in my own body with my own thoughts. And these are all mine. And I'm not
That's
being manipulated.
That's right. Exactly. That's awesome. For you to bring that forward, to not fake a smile, because you have to be present in the moment and you have to deal with all of you and not faking, when you fake that smile, you might stay there for a moment and get into that character, and then you find yourself after the fact empty and aggravated because you settled for that foolery,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
is so good. And to smile when you're by yourself, that is awesome, because that's something that I share too, that sometimes you just gotta just look yourself straight in the mirror and take a really, really good look at you and deal with you on the inside. I love the fact that you just smile by yourself sometimes. And that's good. That's good. I believe that, everybody that is listening and that will come in and press the replay, that will hear that, would take notes of that and glean from that, because that was really some good nuggets that you were dropping just now.
And you know what, Ma? I find that since I've been smiling more by myself, I've been smiling more when I'm present with other people. It's like,
Yeah.
and just for me, smiling, I'm shy about it. I don't necessarily like the smile that I have, and I am self-conscious, and I do a lot of this. But spending time with myself and really looking at myself in the mirror and conjuring up that joy for myself, I find that I'm actually smiling more in situations where I'm being observed. So it's helping on all fronts. I don't have to worry about faking as much, because now it's an actual real feeling.
Real smile, right? Because
Yeah.
when you get to that place of peace and wholeness, where, like, I don't have time for the nonsense. And now
Mm-hmm.
this is authentic. This is me. This is who I am. This is what you're going to get, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
all of me. I don't have time for that other stuff. I love the hey baby that you're doing now on social media. I watch it and I am like, just sometimes I am cracking up laughing. Like,
Oh,
but
wow.
I'm like, this is powerful. This is powerful that you're doing this and you are really attracting what you want and you're manifesting these things. So, can you talk a little bit about Hey Bae? What's that about? So the people
Wow.
who don't really know what that Hey Bae is.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that. Threw you right out there with that one.
So, Hey Bae
Hey Bae.
is it's just a series of conversations, well, really monologues that I'm having with my future love. Um, I do a lot of talking to myself, just reciting my affirmations. And I got this from you. Side note, vision boards with Women of Treasure changed my life completely. I didn't know
Awesome.
I should listen to my mom more often. You've been doing vision boards for years now. And I was like, oh, I need to paste my little cutouts and just procrastinating on it. But this year I decided to do it. And I'm almost done with like, I can literally look at my vision board and check off all the things. I think that's so dope. So one of the things on my vision board was romantic love. I've been very successful with interpersonal relationships. I have an amazing group of friends, amazing family, self-love, but I have not really gotten to a place where I'm comfortable in romantic love, where I feel safe and
Right.
free to be my complete self. I actually, to be honest, if I look over my life, all of my former relationships have been based on some form of trauma or I guess codependency. And now that I feel stable on my own and I don't need a partner at all, I'm not hard
Right.
up, I'm not thirsty at all, honey. I'm very comfortable being alone.
You
I was
you
like,
you you
oh,
you you're full, right? You're
I,
full.
yeah. I was like, this might be around the time to manifest something, because how fun would it be? I don't have anything to lose. I'm not like hard up. Like, my phone not dry. You know what I mean? It's not coming from a place of desperation. It feels very,
Right.
very fun and exciting. And so, hey, bae, it's just me taking a little time out of my day to say hello to my future love. And I thought it would be cute and fun to look back on it once I am connected with my partner, to say, look, I've been talking to you this whole time. And it's also just an exercise for myself to look into a camera and get back to the craft that I actually am very skillful in, but I've just been in denial about it because anxiety tells you that you you're gonna fail, and you're not worthy, and all of your peers from the prestigious schools and the programs you were accepted in, they're all over the TV screens, they're all over the festival circuit, they're at the Grammys, and you're at home with two kids. So you missed your bus. That's what my anxiety tells me. So to counteract that, I said, I'm going to start getting more comfortable in front of the camera again. I am going to start writing little anecdotes and just really flex the skill and the gifts that God has given me.
And he has given you so many skills, so many talents. And first of all, I want to say, the vision boards and the visualization and mental health awareness may have been complimentary from myself, but when I tell you, you nailed that vision board. When I saw that, I was like, oh, and you went to explaining like what I said, oh my God. And you began to just manifest. You have manifest more on your vision board just from this year that we did it in January, and you manifest more on your. I did mine, I think, in December, right? I had my
Yeah,
vision
and I
party
was like, oh,
in
I'm gonna
December.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you had an actual gig the night that I did the vision party, so you were not here. And you saw my vision board and you were like, I'm gonna do one, Mom. I'm gonna do one. I'll do it in soon. And you did it in January. But I want to say you have manifest more on your vision board this year than I have. You're sitting in one of your visions right now.
Yeah. I have to give you a tour of my camper van. It's not quite ready, but I feel really good about it. And thank you. Thank you. When I second guessed myself, I had been doing all this research on van builds and probably driving you crazy about, oh my, look, this can
Yeah.
fold down, and then if I get you could sleep three people this way, just trying to figure it all out. And you wasn't studying me. You're not into the van life, and that's okay because you are a mother and you love your daughter. And when I found the van that I wanted, you
Yes.
drove with me to make it happen.
Right.
And it
Let me tell you what this girl did. Took me on a trip. She loves trips and she know her mother loves to travel, right? So to butter me up, she said, road trip, Mom, road trip, let's do it. And let me tell you, I love spontaneity, and so does she. And I'll say, yeah. So she I think she checks my schedule first and see what I have to do, and she makes sure because there's good Wi-Fi and all that. So when I'm ready to say, but yeah, but they have really good Wi-Fi here, and I already checked it. And I said, okay, my kid, when do you want to leave? We're leaving tomorrow. That kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay. So for me, it's just let's make it happen. Like I love it. Let's just do it. Why that vibration is really high. Let's just go for it. And I don't mind. I would throw a duffel bag out in a minute and pack it up and be like, let's do it. And so now we're away, we're out of town and loving it, and I'm enjoying this fabulous what what is it called where we stay?
oh, we were just in a luxury apartment. You're talking about the
I
company that.
love it because it's not just a regular hotel stay, but it's like it feels at home. It's beautiful, all of the windows. So I love that kind of stuff, and she knows that's my love language. But one day she just wakes up that next morning on the agenda and say, "Hey, I want to go check out this van, Mom. There's this van I want to buy." And I was like, "Okay." And I just want to go check it out and see it's on my vision board. I'm thinking, when the hell, when did you have time to be looking for a van while we out here enjoying this beautiful space?
Scrolling at lunch,
Made an
scrolling at dinner.
appointment to go look at it. So of course I go look at it, and she wants this van. And one thing that that I am not a dream killer. I will support every vision, every dream, even when I don't understand it, even when I don't agree with it. It's like, baby, listen, that's what you want to make happen. Guess what? I'm coming in agreement with you, And she had this van, and we had the boys with us. We had my youngest with us, and guess who drove the van back from Dallas to New Orleans? Me. I'm driving this van, and I got home, and after I thought about it, I said, "Boy, when you love your children, you just do some stupid stuff." Because I didn't feel like driving this van all the way back here, but I did. And guess what? I am so glad. I'm so glad you got it, because all of the things that we like to do, camping and being outdoors and that kind of thing. And this girl would take you camping, same thing. She was going to go camping without me. She was pregnant with my beautiful grandbaby, already my baby Morgan, and she was expecting Mahalo. And she was like, "I'm going camping. I want to set up because I want to take Morgan on this experience, and I want him to be able to enjoy life from every aspect, and be multicultural and take him around the world, and what do you call it, world schooling and all of that." So she was going to go camping, and I'm thinking, I'm not about to let you go camping by yourself with a baby and pregnant. Nah, I'm coming with you. Let's go. So we out there and we having a wonderful time, right? But my idea of camping, even though I was a Girl Scout in the Brownie, huh?
It's your idea of camping is glamping.
Glamping.
Yeah. That's a form of camping.
The glamorous side of camping. Yeah, because I thought, oh, let's ride around this town and see what kind of restaurants they have and what kind of food. And my kids like, "Mom, I want the whole camping experience." I thought that we'll build a campfire, or we'll have a fire out, and we're gonna just grill. And I'm looking like, okay, let's do it. That I put on that fake smile.
That fake smile.
But I must say, I should have had those photos to show today. I had a really, really good time. I really enjoyed it. And but yeah, on my IG, I posted those photos of us camping and the campfire, and you made it happen. You were serious about that thing. Even though in the middle of the night you were sleeping, resting so peacefully. And I'm sleeping, and I'm hearing all kind of sounds that I cannot identify. Can't wait till this is done. And I'm like, you wake up in the morning, you got the screen open for the tent, and you're like, "Mom, this girl is already out grilling and fixing breakfast and stuff on the campfire." And you're like, "How did you sleep?" I said, "Girl, I heard some sounds that I've never heard before in my life. I was terrified in that tent." I was terrified. I heard some sounds that were unidentifiable in that tent. And I said, the next time we do this, we have to do this with a group of people. You were like, "This is a group. It's me, you, and the boys."
Yeah.
So,
but I upgraded you, Mom. I upgraded you. Now you have a camper van.
Yes, I have a camper van. Yeah, I like that. At least, if I start hearing sounds or a bear come up to the window or something, that, at least I'm on wheels. I can just pull off, in space. In that tent, I would have had to try to run for the car to get to the car and be snatched up before I could get. I watched too many movies. So many movies, but I love it, my kid. Now, listen, I want to talk about, and we really have a few minutes left, but I want to
Oh
go
wow,
back
we
to
talked a
this.
lot.
Yeah, because I want to show some of these photos because, and you said that you're watching Hollywood and you're watching people do this and that, and you're thinking like, I need to be more present in the camera. I need to do this and I need to do that, and all of the stuff that you have already done. And I cannot tell that you're not present in the camera, and that, my goodness. Let me just show some of these pictures, you guys, of, and we're going to talk about some of these too. This is when you performed at Essence. Am I right?
Yes, I was pregnant with Morgan Amare.
You were pregnant with my first grandbaby. So that definitely looks present in the moment of photo.
Ma, you're so sweet.
I'm saying, I'm just saying, and here we are here. Now that was live at Essence.
Yeah, that's the actual performance.
Beautiful.
And believe it or not, I was really having a hard night that night, but it was Essence, my name was next to all of these wonderful performers, and there was no way I was going to let what I was going through get to me. So I poured all of that out into that performance. And I know that I was in the super lounge during the time that Miguel was on the main stage. I was like, why they do that to you, girl? But the people came out and they were present and they were excited. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. I wouldn't trade it.
And you were absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Gorgeous. And, I remember this in the beautiful attire that this dress that you had designed.
Yes, that's by Denisio Truitt.
Yes. And I remember when you had your interview, you were like, well, I wasn't quite sure if I wanted everybody to know that I was pregnant yet. So I had this design, and it was gorgeous. I wish I had a photo where you can actually see it face forward, but
it's a beautiful, beautiful garment.
It is. So those who will follow you on social media, you can follow Mykia Jovan at all social media sites. Mykia Jovan, you'll be able to follow her there, and you'll be able to see the full view of it all right there. And so we went from all of these beautiful photos at Essence, and your performance was amazing. I must say so myself. It was absolutely amazing. I really thoroughly enjoyed myself at Essence with you, and you nailed it, as you always do. You nailed it. And then we have Jazz Fest. Yes, the Jazz Fest, and you were absolutely fabulous there. And I think that was the year that I broke my foot. When you were here at Jazz Fest, I had broke my foot that time, and I was like, oh my goodness, I am not going to let anything stop me. I am going on crutches. Remember? And I came with you all, and I was on the crutches cheering you on from the I didn't want to stay backstage, so I went around the front, and they had me to be in the front. What is this? Is this
that's a Nina Simone tribute. That's
the
a Nina Simone
tribute.
With Tank and Jelly and Erica Falls.
That was phenomenal.
Yep, there they are. Yeah.
That was absolutely phenomenal. That Nina Simone tribute that you did. And let's talk about, as it relates to Mind and Music. This was actually Una Vida, what you did for this film, and you were the voice behind the scene because the actual actress that played the main character was a performer in real life, a stage performer, a singer, but the actual character that played the part could not sing, so they used your voice throughout the entire movie. And it was so great that the music, everybody kept asking, who is that voice behind this music here? And they actually made a soundtrack and changed it, guys. Listen, changed it from Una Vida to Mind and Music because of Mykia's voice. So I just have to highlight this because you be tripping on some other stuff sometimes, thinking, you haven't done this or that, and you're doing it all. And here we are for Offbeat Awards. You were nominated for Offbeats as emerging artist, and so that was really, really awesome, really, really awesome. And here we have your album, the album cover, Eliyahu, and we celebrated Eliyahu with you with that particular album. That was outstanding. It was just so powerful, Mykia. And the music that you have written, and it's just, it's so soothing. I remember for many years coming to listen to you at the Blue Nile. You had a residency there for years, it seems. And I would come there and listen to you, and that was like my place of escape. For many years, I didn't tell anybody about it because I didn't want all those church folk following me or even talking about me, like, what is she doing at the Blue Nile? What is she going there? That kind of thing.
Singing the blues.
Yes.
Pastor daughter singing the blues up in there.
Girl, that was like my little place of escape. It just was like, oh my God, get outside of all of the everything else and just steal away by myself. And I would be there praying on the sideline and cheering you on, and just making sure you covered. I remember the first time that I went in there with you, you act like you were my mama. You had me by my hand, holding on to my hand tight, walking me through the crowd like, you didn't want nobody stopping me or nothing. Like,
my mama don't be in no clubs. I had to make sure you were good, and you look so good. You come right on with me, dear. I'm going to sit you right there. And I told everybody in the audience, that's my mother.
You did. It was so funny, but I enjoyed coming and being there with you and supporting you. And I'm your number one fan, if I should say so myself here.
I believe it.
Yes, I have to put my glasses on. That there's just a couple of more that I want to show, and how you just travel the world by yourself, and you take these solo trips without me sometimes.
Oh, I'm long overdue for another one.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Right.
Solo is not so solo anymore when you got two bambinos, two little boys.
Especially breastfeeding too while you're doing what you do. Here I have a picture of you hugging a tree. What's that about?
I mean, it was just a photo op, but trees are very powerful. Trees are very powerful, especially for people that deal with anxiety and depression. I promise you. I know in our community, the whole concept of being a tree hugger is like this hippie thing, and it might be for white people or whatever. But your ancestors know better, people. Your ancestors know better. I promise you, if you're dealing with a hard moment, find a tree, lean up against the tree.
That's beautiful.
I promise you, God would not have all of these trees around us with all this memory preserved, especially in the city of New Orleans. Sometimes I go to Congo Square, where our ancestors used to dance on Sundays and have a moment to themselves for their own spiritual practices. Beyond what Massa had going on for them, they would at least be able to get there on a Sunday and fellowship with one another. And those trees are there. People, go lean up against a tree. If
That's
you
good.
don't listen to nothing else I say with Real Talk Mary J, go lean up against a tree one day when you're stressed out, when you want to make that phone
Oh,
call that you don't have no business making, you know, when you want to confront somebody. The tree will absorb that. The tree holds so much memories. If a tree can hold a lynching, it certainly can hold whatever pain you're going through.
wow.
Please, please, please listen to
Ooh,
me
I
when I say
felt
that.
that. I
Seriously,
felt
that is
that.
medicine, immediate medicine, immediate
That's
medicine.
powerful.
Powerful. Powerful. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, yeah, that's powerful, Mykia. Absolutely, absolutely powerful. Um, all of what she said, don't touch mama. That's funny. Yeah, that's absolutely powerful what you just dropped, that nugget as it relates to. I felt it, the tree. Okay. I have a greater respect for these trees. I had a respect for them as it relates to the roots, and how sometimes you can take something so ugly, the ugliness of your past that is rooted in all of that mess and those traumas that we go through and come out of, and we deal with all of that stuff, and how later on you see the tree has leaves and it has blossomed and it has bloomed, and it's for shade and it protects you from being scorched in the sun. So that's my little therapy of trees, but you just have enlightened me in such a greater way on today as it relates to that was pretty awesome, pretty awesome. So Mykia, I want you to share with the people before we close out, what word of advice can you give to those who may be dealing with anxiety, depression? Here we are. I love this picture here. My family, my beautiful children. That's one of my
Me too.
favorite ones. Um, what word of advice can you share with those who are listening, those who may deal with anxiety and depression? What is it that they can do to help them get through, to build these healthy relationships, as I so mentioned before?
I think to trust that there is a part of you that's witnessing the anxiety, witnessing the depression. If you can go there. So for instance, when I'm having a psychosomatic seizure, I can feel my body convulsing. I can feel my heart rate. I, I I feel like I don't have control over my body. But mentally, beyond all the thoughts and the stressors that got me to that place, there is an aspect of myself that is watching me go through it.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So when I wish I could explain this right now while we're talking, right? You hear your voice, right?
Right.
There's an aspect of you that is listening to you, right?
Yes.
So if you can tap into the fact that there is a part of you and that is your spirit. We like to say that we are, how do you say, we are a spirit that possesses a body that has a soul. How does that go?
We are a spirit that has a mind that possessing a body. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
So we often look at the mind as where the problem lies. Your mind is always going to be your mind. Your mind is always going to be your mind. You can take medication. You can have your mental health hygiene and have all of that stuff intact, but your mind will always be your mind. Your mind is a tool. It's not the leader. Okay.
That's good.
So the leader is the thing beyond all of that that is witnessing it. So if you can take a moment and say, I feel X, Y, and Z, this is not happening to me. This is what I'm
Hmm.
witnessing. This is sadness. This is anxiousness. This is distress. This is is misery. If you can name the thing, because if you can name it, it's not you.
Woo,
Do you
yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
I wish I could articulate it. If you can name it, it's not you. What's the saying they say about the knife? The knife can't cut itself.
Right.
So if you're cutting it, if you're experiencing it, it's not you. And that's what gets me through every time, is to realize, okay, I'm in this house of a body that doesn't always act the way that I would want it to act. It doesn't, it responds to stressors in a way that doesn't feel true to me, doesn't feel true to my essence. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am a spirit that is witnessing all of this, and this too shall pass. It always passes. Nobody gets through life without suffering.
Ooh.
That's the one thing that's guaranteed in this life. And if Jesus could suffer, so can you. So can you. You know?
That's powerful. That's
And you get
powerful.
through it. And it's not a cakewalk. I promise you it's not a cakewalk. I I had to fill out something, and it was like, when was the time that you were the happiest in your life? And I honestly haven't gotten to that space yet. And realizing that, wow, I've been dealing with depression and anxiety since a child. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even, they say your most recent memory of a time where you didn't feel overwhelmed. I don't have that. I don't have that together. I sincerely don't. But I do know that none of it's really me, because when all of this is said and done, what do I bring to heaven? What do I bring behind the veil? My spirit. All that other stuff that I've gone through is staying here. So it can't possibly be mine, right? If I leave
Right.
it here when I go on to meet my maker, then it's not even me. It's not
Right.
even real. So
Right.
hopefully that helps someone. I don't know. I
That
don't know.
does. I'm sure it will. 100%. I'm sure it will. That was just so powerful as you related that, saying that, okay, we are spirit. We have a mind. We live in a body. And so whatever it is that I am feeling that is overwhelming me, if I can name it, whatever the name of it is, it's not you,
Hmm.
because anxiety is not you. Depression is not you. You are Mykia Jovan. You are a spirit. So that couldn't possibly be you, because you can't take those things with you. So you are aware of it, you acknowledge it, you feel it, and then you respond to it, right?
Right.
That's pretty powerful. And so now you've gone through these emotions in life, and you've come to this place in this space, because you were holding on to stones when you were perform bare feet sometime, and every single stage and every level had a different meaning.
Hmm.
Where are you now? Because
I don't. What were you gonna say? You gonna say something?
I was saying, because during your entire pregnancy, you weren't on medication or anything. And
Okay.
so you went from stones to mask, first mask, right?
Hmm.
Mask to stones and bare feet, and just to be grounded in your performance and not deal with all of the forces that were coming up against you, as you explained before. So, where are you now in this space? Where are you now?
I am not holding on to anything. I'm not holding on to anything when I perform. Every now and then I might have a crystal, just out of habit, but it's no longer a security blanket. I was starting off with mask because I was terrified of being seen on stage. Um, you know, I could really get into the music if no one could see my face. And then I realized that I can't go through my whole career in a mask. It's just not logical for the type of work that I do. Some people don't want masks at their weddings. So I went from that to just holding a worry stone, because I'm constantly fidgeting, um, just to kind of self soothe. And then it went to crystals. And now I don't really need it. I never needed it. It's good to have these things to get you through whatever you need to feel most comfortable in your own skin. Do it until you don't have to anymore. And if I still had to do it, it would still be okay.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't know what it was. Becoming a mother and realizing I had an entire life that I was responsible for, that my baby can feel what I feel, really got me on my spiritual and mental health hygiene, like full gear. Because
Yeah.
I don't want my child to have to go to counseling because I am his mother. You know,
Yeah.
I want to give my children a fair shot, whatever trauma they experience in their life. Because like I said, suffering is inevitable, but whatever they have to go through, it won't be because of me.
Right.
That's
Right.
my goal. That's my
That's
goal.
that's that's wonderful. Not to pass down those traumatic experiences and inflict it on your offspring. And
Hmm.
sometimes our generations do that, pass it down to the next generation because it happened to them this way or they dealt with it this way, and now they are oppressed and they're relating that to the next generation, and that's how they're dealing with it, and then it goes on and on. So you've broken that cycle, you've reversed that, you've stopped that in its track, and you've exposed the enemy. I know you bless a lot of people on today with your powerful, amazing story. Do you have any last words?
No, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for having me. This was more helpful for me as well, just having this conversation with you. So I'm just really grateful.
This was helpful for me as well, and for so many that are watching and will watch this also. You're just remarkable, and so many on so many levels, and I am so godly proud of you. I always say I have bragging rights. I get to brag, you guys. I get to brag on this beautiful jewel of a woman, and beautiful, awesome mother as well, and just a great, awesome daughter who likes traveling and taking her mom on these trips. She doesn't leave me all the time, but she lets me come and go with her sometimes. And I just appreciate all that you do for me, and all that you give too. You're just all around fabulous. Thank you, Mykia, for coming on the show and sharing with me today. And I gotta ask you the question. You
So
already
excited to
know.
be asked this question.
Did you have a happy Merry Monday?
Yes, I did. I had a very happy Merry Monday. Thank you so much, Mary J.
Thank you, my beautiful girl, for coming on and sharing with me today.